Welcome back, folks. My name's Shane. In today's video, I've got something cool to share with you. This is the Llano Dual battery charger for mirrorless cameras. So if you get yourself a Sony, Nikon, Lumix or Fujifilm camera, you can get one of these with or without batteries. This one came with two Sony batteries. These are the MPF Z100 ones. And these actually have a few benefits, which we'll get to in just a moment. But this is essentially a dual charger and power bank in one. That's right. So it has two USB-C ports on this side, which allow you to not only charge the internal battery on the unit, but also power something else, which is really cool. Before we get into this video, thank you to Llano for sending this out for this particular video review. This is a pros and cons review, and I'll share both pros and cons with you throughout this video. So I hope you find it helpful. As always, all thoughts are mine. They don't get to preview this video ahead of time and all that stuff. I think where this Llano charger really shines is anyone who's doing anything out in the field, or if you just want the convenience of having two batteries charged at the same time. Say, for example, you're out in the field, you need to access your phone, but your battery goes flat. You can power it with this. That's pretty cool. Now just note, it only has USB-C ports on it. It doesn't have any USB-A type, which are those rectangular ones. But the cool thing is most things these days are USB-C, which is a really great standard. In regards to build quality, I was really impressed when I took this out of the box. It has this nice sort of almost rubberized feel on it, which I really like. There's a button over here. You push the button and it shows you how much charge is available from the case. So it says 100% there. We get a little door at the top where we open and we can insert your own batteries or third-party batteries or first-party batteries. And these are the ones that Llano have provided. You put these in and you just close the door down and lock it off. And now if we take a look at the battery indicator on screen, you can see that it says 100% and there's two little sidebars next to it, which is how much the internal batteries have charged. Now you can just leave this plugged in if you want and then charge the batteries that way. It's up to you, but you can absolutely charge them with a full charge here on the case. Charging time is rated at 2.5 hours for both batteries, which is really cool. And if, say, for example, you're running these at, say, 50% full or 50% empty, depending on your outlook on life, then obviously it will take less time, which is awesome. The provided MPF batteries are 2400 milliamp hour batteries, which is great. Now these Llano batteries have a few things going for them. One, they're rated at 2400 milliamp hours, so you're gonna get great battery life. I always find though third-party batteries don't stand the test of time compared to first-party batteries, but it's great that there's some included. So you'll definitely get a pretty nice runtime out of these guys right here. Now if you're shooting with Lumix, it's not a problem using third-party batteries in their cameras. But when it comes to Sony, sometimes you see an error message come up on screen. So I'm just I'll show you the Llano battery in here right now. We're gonna open the screen this way. I'm gonna turn it on. You know what you're not going to see here is any sort of third-party battery warning message, which is great. Now, unfortunately, when it comes to third-party batteries and Sony cameras, they might update the firmware and then you might eventually see a warning message. So just keep that in mind. I've tested a number of third-party batteries over the years, and every firmware update, it seems to create that error message on screen. I'm not going to say that that's going to happen with this, but just a warning. If you've got an older Sony camera or you're on an older firmware, odds are it will work fine. But yeah, just keep those things in mind. I tested the Llano charger here with the three batteries that I have. So I've got an official MPF Z battery. I've got several of these small rig batteries, and I now have two of these Llano batteries, and they all charged fine without incident. Power output on this is rated at a few different settings, and I'm going to talk about the one thing that's kind of missing from here. But we get 5 volts at 3 amps, 9 volts at 2.2 amps, 12 volts at 1.67 amps, which gives us a 20 watt maximum output. Now there's no 9 volts at 3 amps, and being that it's a battery, I wasn't kind of expecting that, but there's enough sort of trickle charge on here for your cameras to let it run much longer than it would, but it's still going to lose charge over time. 9 volts, 3 amps is pretty much the standard for a lot of different cameras. That's what I run this camera off, and it's what I run this camera off here in the studio. And that's kind of like the magic spot for never losing charge. But you'll be able to get much longer recording durations having this hooked up to any mirrorless camera. All right, let's talk about everything that we get in this beautiful box with some seagulls flying over the ocean. Included, we get the case, We get an instruction manual that also walks you through all the different power options. We get this super funky case. It feels really nice. Actually looks kind of cool too. Let us know what you think of that. And this particular unit comes with 2 NPF batteries. So you get all of this for only 149 Australian dollars, which is crazy. Now there's some different sales on and all that kind of stuff, so you might actually be able to find it cheaper. I'll link it down to different regions down in the description if you want to take a look. But the cool thing about this is you can also buy it without the battery. So if you don't want to take a risk on third-party batteries or anything like that, you can pick it up for a lot less at only $100. So I think this is really great value. That's Australian dollars. So if you're looking at it in the US, I'll put the US price on screen. You can definitely find a bargain on this. But I'm very impressed with what this has to offer. The only 2 sort of minor nitpicks I have with it. One, I would have liked the batteries to kind of just clip in when you insert them, rather than just have to sort of push down on the lid. Not a huge problem or anything like that, but definitely worth mentioning. And there's definitely no 9 volts, 3 amps on there, which some people might be looking for. So I want to share the pros and cons with you of this little device. I'm really impressed with this, and I think I'm going to put this in the best of 2025 for, you know, one of the coolest accessories I've got. I really enjoy it. So massive thanks to Llano for sending this out. If you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, click the bell, and I will catch you on the next one. See ya.